Welcome back to Asinine Radio, or this is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we normally listen to a bunch of records from one band or one artist and we rank them from worst to best. But right now we are ending hip hop season. We have reached the end of it. And this episode we are getting into the 2000s era of hip hop. Some might argue the best era of hip hop. I wouldn't say that. You might say that. You might say that. But so yeah, we'll talk about the best of the different regions. What we think are the best subjectively and objectively. And while you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell your friends, share all the posts. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And my name is Tyler, way out there, hundreds of miles away is Jeff. So let's get into this, Jeff. Hip hop season is ending, 2000s era hip hop. What do we want to do? Objectives first?
So first of all,
I forgot how we did it last
season.
Week.
First of all, season.
Last 2 weeks, I forgot how we've done it.
Okay, first of all.
Listen, Linda.
The guy's name was Stephen Wright. That was a comedian.
Oh, okay. You sure about that?
Yeah. 100%. So yeah, anyway, because I was in the store one time listening to Mitch Hedberg, and one of our customers was like, oh, I like Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, you ever listen to Stephen Wright? I was like, no. Let's check him out. He's like the original Mitch Hedberg. I was like, oh, he kind of is. That's funny. I think the jokes are just, that's not our age generation. And it was like, whatever. Well, it's still funny.
It's the delivery. Because the Mitch Hedberg jokes aren't funny. It's his delivery that's funny.
Guy does exactly the same thing.
Okay. Stephen Wright.
Sometimes wrong. I think last time we did.
Wow. Okay.
We could do. Dude, these beard plugs are so good. They like when no sound gets in or out other than what's coming through the earplug, like there's a perfect vacuum.
Yes.
I mean, like you hum, you can hear like your teeth rattle or where that fucking thing is in the side of your brain. That's what's going on here. Now it's just like kind of irritating me.
Okay.
There you go. You need a little air getting in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
All right. So we could do your subjective first.
Why? Because I have the better ones? Or you want to fight?
It's shorter.
Oh, that's true. Because I didn't break mine down by region. You did all yours by region.
Or we could do my regions.
No. We'll go through my subjectives because I know you want to yell at me for some of these. So
yeah, some are stupid.
Oh, where are mine?
Scroll. Okay, there we go. All right.
Did I even put mine here? Oh, mine are at the top.
I got them here.
I got them here too. So yeah, my favorite. This is all completely subjective. My favorite records from the 2000s hip hop. Number 5, Outkast, Stankonia. I like this record a lot. It's a fantastic record. Got it on the vinyls. We've talked about, Outkast a lot, especially last week. We talked about them a lot with AT Aliens and Aquemini and stuff like that. I know we'll get more into it because I know you put this on your subjective ranking as well. So number 5 for me is Outkast, Stankonia. Number 4, going with album of the week, Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP from 2000. That's my number 4.
This is where we get stupid already. Too low.
Once again, these are my subjective favorites.
They're stupid. Like I'm telling you, your opinion on this is stupid. It's dumb, and I don't like it.
All right, my number 3. This one you love is Jay-Z, The Blueprint 3 from like 08 or 09. I love this record. The nostalgia hits so hard.
Everybody loves this record.
This record is fucking amazing. I think this Blueprint 3, is better than Blueprint. The first
You're
one.
Stupid because you like pop music and Pitbull and Kesha and shit like that.
Which we'll get into Pitbull in a bit. But
it's silly. This is silly. This is a good record. I like this record.
Fantastic
if we got it on the vinyls in the store, I'd take it home.
I would too.
It's fun.
It's like $30 on Amazon, by the way. Double LP.
And this came out just at the right time for us, right? We just started partying hard, and now these are like the anthems of us going out and partying and doing things, and it's fun. But Jay-Z's boring, and he's the worst part of this record compared to everybody else. He's fucking boring.
I think he's he's a fantastic MC. You can't deny that.
No, he's not.
He's a great rapper.
No, he's not. He just has one style to him, and it's meh.
I disagree. Okay.
And he never got better. He never progressed above anything besides the Blueprint, his first record, or not his first record, but the first Blueprint.
Yeah.
But to put this as above Marshall Mathers, to put this above Stankonia is stupid. Stankonia is just a better this.
I enjoy Blueprint 3. I listen to it a lot. I've listened to it a lot. I really, really enjoy it.
I don't mind you putting it in your top 5. A case could be made because it is really, really fun. And I mean, I don't know if you remember, but these songs were playing fucking everywhere when we were going out.
They were, yeah, I remember.
Like for years.
And see, that's the thing I noticed, I especially noticed this week, was that a lot of the hip hop we've been listening to is just not fun. Like the vast majority of it is not fun. So when you get to a fun album, it just makes it so much better. So much better. And that's what this record is. Everything's way too serious in hip hop. Way too serious.
Maybe it needed to be serious in order for the fun to come out.
Okay. I disagree, but okay. So that was my number 3.
You think hip hop should have been serious from the get go?
It just have
You're
some
wild.
have some.
That's wild. Don't be wild.
Vary it up a
too
little
wild.
bit.
It is way too early to be this wild. Okay.
Well, Blueprint 3, that's wild. So that's my number 3. My number 2.
This is the dumbest one right here.
You love this record. I love it even more. Beastie Boys to the 5 Boroughs. I don't care what anyone says. I think this is a fantastic hip hop record. They don't do any of the dub stuff. They don't do any of the rock stuff. Straight hip hop sampling. Great stuff. I prefer this over Paul's Boutique. This is my third favorite. This is my third favorite Beastie Boys record. I think this record is wildly underrated, and I think people just have this crazy nostalgia with Hello Nasty and Paul's Boutique and all that stuff, and that's okay. That's fine. I get it. I totally get it. But you got to give To the 5 Boroughs more of a chance or more listens because it's a really solid record.
It is a solid record.
It's so
great.
good. It's so good. You're really sleeping on this one.
It's top 5 Beastie Boys for sure. But that's it. Just like
top 3, baby.
Those words coming out of your mouth that it's better than this and this and this is stupid. Do you think this is better than Stankonia? That's stupid.
It is.
That's just you. That's just you like stumbling upon some Beastie Boys record that everybody agrees is good, but nobody thinks is great. But you're like, oh, you guys missed out. Did you guys realize that this Beastie Boys record is good? And everyone's like, yeah, it's not like the best, but it's a good record, of course.
It's fantastic.
Like, well, actually, it's really good. Well, like, no, it's not. It's not fantastic. It's just good. It's a good record.
With you, Jeff, with hip hop, you just like piggybacking off everybody else, liking what everybody else likes, and that's okay.
Dude, my 2 favorite records are by like
that's
stupid,
totally
goofy ass bands. I like goofy hip hop. That's like my favorite type of hip hop is goofy hip hop.
Okay, so Beastie Boys to the 5 Boroughs, my number 2, second favorite hip hop record of the era. Number 1, Kanye's Graduation, hands down, easy peasy. This record, this record, not only was it great, but it was the stepping stone to the next era of hip hop. We talked about it when we did this record a year ago, when we broke down Graduation, and this record is unbelievable. It's one of those records that blows me away every time I hear it too. Every song is a beyond banger. It's so fucking amazing. So Kanye West, Graduation, my favorite hip hop record of this era. So what do you got for should we get into my objectives, or are we doing objectives last?
Whoa, too early.
Okay.
Slow it down.
All right, so let's get into your bullshit. So we're gonna start with West Coast first, because we did it West Coast, East Coast, South, Southern hip hop.
I think we started with South
Midwest.
last time because I started with my least favorite.
Okay, so is that what we
So I'm
want
gonna
to do?
do South, Mid, East, West. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So
Some
what
of
do you
these
got?
did change too. I changed a couple of these.
Did you? Oh shit! Then I better
Yeah.
look at your notes.
I didn't change it there though.
Oh, you changed it on your
Keep
own
me on
list?
your toes. Keep changing my own list.
Oh my god, you're so annoying. What do you got?
So I'm gonna start with the Midwest. No, I'm gonna start with the Southern. Like I said, Southern because this is like my least favorite. Even though there's some absolute bangers here.
Yeah.
Foreign Exchange. There, I'm connected. This is
Listen to this
is
one,
a
too.
fun. This is a fun take on what is this? What'd you say?
I said I listened to this one.
You should listen to every single fucking one.
I listened to out of all your subjective stuff. I listened to it.
You
And I
know
listened
what?
to about half of the extracurriculars. So I have notes for all
backtrack
of
a
this.
little bit.
I have
Let's
notes for all
backtrack
of
a little
this.
bit. Did you
What?
listen to Black Sheep?
I did. It was fucking
fucking
awesome.
A.
It was fucking
Okay, cool.
awesome. It was
Yes.
so good. I didn't realize the one song was theirs too. It was
The
What's
Do What Dippity. That one?
no, damn it, I can't remember the name.
Or The
of it.
Choice Is Yours?
Yeah, The Choice Is Yours. Yeah, that one. I didn't realize it was them. That was a
Good,
fantastic
good.
record.
Good. Good.
Vinyl worthy.
Yes. Okay.
Do you have it
cool.
on vinyl?
No.
Black Sheep?
I've never even seen it. I'm not even like a repress or nothing. Never seen it.
Really? Okay.
So yeah, you're second in line if it ever comes into our store.
Okay. Fair.
The second line's good. It's better than third,
That's true. Not as good as one, but
but better than third.
better than third. Yes.
So anyway, words.
going nowhere, going nowhere
like
fast.
Like in Discogs when you have to like comment on something and you have to choose 10 words and people are like words.
Yeah.
That was the equivalent.
And then
So
I don't know
good.
if you do it, but I read every word that they write too.
Of course you have to. These are just words. Words.
Words.
10. Oh, it's so funny. I love it. Cool. Anyway, back to it. Foreign Exchange. I'm Connected. I think this is a really fun take on the South sound. It's essentially hip hop's like Give Up by the Postal Service. It's rapping done by one of the guys from Little Brother, and the production's done by a Dutch producer named Nicolai. But they met online on OK Player. They never met in real life until after this album was finished. So it was back and forth either through like actual snail mail, email, whatever it was. But I think this is really, really rad. I probably wouldn't get this on the vinyl because there's a little bit too much of genres that I don't listen to. There's a lot of like R&B. There's a lot of soul in here. This is not quite my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do a really good job at incorporating a lot of things that just don't normally work in hip hop unless you're Outkast. And they did a really good job at it.
Yeah. I think at this point I was a little burnt out on the hip hop because I listened to just a lot of stuff I either didn't like or I just thought was okay. I just thought it was more of the same here of what I was hearing from the Southern hip hop. I don't think they did anything super well, but I do like the story that, they did it kind of like the Postal Service where they were never met each other. They were just doing everything over essentially the internet. So that's cool. I think that's a really cool story, but otherwise musically, to me, it's forgettable, but what do I know?
I would say go back and listen to it, but like I know you don't really like funk and soul and shit.
Yeah,
either, that's not our thing. We don't like it. Whatever.
Respect it, but it's not our thing. Yeah.
Correct. That's what this. A lot of this sound is there, and that's what it is. But whatever. Moving on. Lil Wayne, Carter 3.
This movie
Wayne,
dropped.
Carter 3.
It dropped
It did
down.
drop.
Okay.
It didn't drop because it was bad. It dropped because Luda. Woo, that record was that record was so good. So yeah, Lil Wayne, Carter 3. Man, you gotta love this record. He does so much stuff on this record. There's so much influence that he had on, love it or hate it, but like current rappers today. Like a lot of people credit him as like, oh, I did this because of Lil Wayne. I did this because of Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And Lil Wayne, like, just like Fitty, like he brought it to like the populace. It was okay to be a pop star and also be a rapper. It was bigger than life. And like, God damn, dude, Lil Wayne was huge. He was huge in this era. And this was people were hungry for this record. And I don't think it's great. I don't think it's amazing. I probably wouldn't keep this on the vinyls, but I do think it's impactful and it's still pretty goddamn good.
So I think this record sucks. I really did not like this record. The one positive thing I will have to say though is that he does a lot of genre hopping and he makes it so every song has their own identity. No song bleeds into another song. So I do like when bands are able to accomplish that, but even still, I don't like his voice. I don't like his rapping. I don't like any of that. I think he's very unpleasant to listen to. I know people love him. They absolutely love him, and I have more respect for him after watching that documentary and learning more about Cash Money Records, and all that shit. I have a lot more respect.
Little boy band that he was in.
Yeah, essentially that's what it was. It was a boy band. They even said that too in the documentary. It was pretty good.
So funny.
But yeah, I still don't get Lil Wayne and I don't get his appeal. I mean, just he was able to do some weird shit with the genres, but otherwise he's not good. He's not a good rapper. And I don't know why people say he's good. I don't get it, man. It irritates me a lot. I don't know what I'm missing.
I don't mind that.
What am I missing? What am I missing, Jeff? I don't get it.
That's okay. I want to move on to something more fun. I hope you like this record.
What?
I hope you like this record. But Ludacris, dude, word of mouth.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Oh, so dude, good. This is so good, right?
So fun.
God.
And then when it gets to the singles and everything, where I know every word to the single,
yeah,
dude, it got me pumped up.
This is some
one,
of the
other records, but it got me pumped
I had this below Lil Wayne, just because I don't know why, but I don't go back to Ludacris that often. I don't know why. I just don't. But I'm probably gonna search for this one now on the vinyls because I really want this record so bad. It's just so goddamn fun. And Luda's got like the way he just says things, right? Like the rollout, like, yo, we don't know. And he kind of just like lets the last word just kind of hang there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And like the producers on this record, he had Timbaland on this, he had Organized Noise on this, he had so many big name producers come on this thing and drop some absolutely massive bangers. Area Codes, Roll Out, like those are just wild.
Really, really good songs. He's a solid rapper, and he hits a lot of different styles with his rapping too, which is really cool too. He doesn't stick to one thing. He's all over the place, but in the best way. So,
move, bitch, get out the way.
And he has such a unique voice, just a very, very unique voice.
Very, like it's kind of deep, but also very smooth. It's very calming. Like he can tell you a bedtime story.
It's like a southern drawl that he has too.
Yeah.
To his rapping.
It's sort of just like he really does. Almost he sounds like he's got like sort of the molasses just sort of spilling out of his mouth. Like,
yes.
That's good. Yeah. Damn, so good. All right, next thing.
Yeah, Ludacris is great.
Next thing is Clips, their first record, Lord Willin'.
Yeah, what do you like about this? I thought it was good. Good gangster rap with southern beats, but putting it above Luda and I didn't get it.
So this is like I think this is the first full record that the Neptunes produced. So you have like the Neptunes, and then Pusha T is one of the guys, and just everything is so different. Like none of these things should be coming together and making sense, because you do have like the kind of like gangster rap edge by the rapping, but then the production is just very much like Timbaland-esque. It's very beat driven melodies, and those are fun, but like usually you don't kind of get real rapping with it. You kind of get goofy rapping like we see with like Ludacris is goofy rapping. It's good. It's just a different kind of thing. Clips does both of them very, very well, and I think I don't know, I think this is amazing. I have this on the vinyls.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Got a promo, baby.
Also, watching that documentary when they were talking about the super producer episode, when they were talking about the Neptunes, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew they did a lot of production work, but I didn't realize how much of it there was. Like, there was one guy, I forgot which rapper it was, but he was like 60% of what was on the radio, like on the top 40, was produced by the Neptunes at one point.
Probably.
That's what he said. Like I think it was like in 1990 or 2000 or 1999 or something like that. 60% of the songs on top 40 were Neptunes produced. That's insane. But then you go back and think like, oh yeah, that is very, very them. Like that, it's hard to explain their style, but once you hear it, it's like Timbaland. Like you know it when you hear it.
The only reason why like Virginia Beach is even like considered a region, because that's what Southern is, right? Virginia's south. Anything lower we talked about when friend of the pod Mike moved away. Anything lower than the Mason-Dixon line, that's the South. Anything above, that's like, we just call it East Coast. So Virginia is like right there, and this is Southern hip hop. But the only reason why anybody even talks about Virginia Beach is because of the Neptunes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like Clips is great. Like this group is amazing. I love this record. But if you took the Neptunes production out of this and just dumbed it down, like I would never listen to this. Like I gotta have both. Gotta have both of them.
Gotta have both.
Gotta have both of them. Word of mouth. Move, bitch. So good. Right, and then Stankonia is my favorite Southern hip hop record. And like
Unreal record.
Like Outkast is pretty much always going to be number one in any decade that they put records out in whatever region they're in.
Southern, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
it's not even fucking fair, dude. Like it's honestly not even fair. But yeah, So Fresh and So Clean, that's my favorite Outkast song.
Really?
So Fresh and So Clean. Yeah,
it's a great song.
I love it so much.
Okay, all right,
cool. Yeah, moving on.
All right, let's get into the Midwest stuff.
Let's get into the Midwest, baby boy.
Some good shit here, man. Get some good fucking shit.
Are we saying it's good shit because we don't think it's good shit, or are we saying it's good shit?
No,
good shit?
It's actually all really good.
There you go. Yeah, because Midwest really did have like a lot of catching up to do, and it kind of really exploded with Eminem in '99, and I was like, holy shit, like we are getting recognition because of this guy, so let's start doing things our own way and a little bit different. And they definitely did do a lot of things pretty differently. I think I also changed one here too. I swapped something here. So anyway, Binary Star, Masters of the Universe. They're from, I don't know, somewhere in the Midwest, one of those Michigan states. Gives a fuck. That's their second record.
Michigan is a state.
Yeah, one of those Michigan states in that area. I know where Michigan is, but I don't know fucking all the other states. It's one of those Michigan states. Did you like this record?
Yeah, it was good. It's solid hip hop, just really solid hip hop. I like the spacey interludes and stuff like that. There's some cool like little genre, little weird kind of experimental things for hip hop that they were doing. So I really did like this. Solid hip hop. Wouldn't get it on vinyl, but it was solid.
Yeah, everything about it is just masterful and just pretty deep.
Yeah.
But Atmosphere is my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Atmosphere, God Loves Ugly. And shout out to the friend of the pod, David, whose favorite or one of his favorite hip hop artists is Atmosphere. Slug and Ant. I think he thinks they're like the best. And you can make that argument. You're not going to win it, but I get it. Subjectively, yes, you can make that argument. I would be okay with that. But this is kind of like the birth of what we think of like emo rap, right? Which I don't know if I even put a record on the thing. Did you listen to Atmosphere?
Yeah, I listen to Atmosphere. Yeah.
Let's see. Which record did you listen to?
The ugly one, whatever it's called, the one with his face on half of the record.
Yeah,
that was the one.
God Loves Ugly.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys just run deep in that atmospheric sound that favors the emo name. They founded a record label, the Rhymesayers, that just signs amazing artists, and they all have a very nuanced sound that's unique, and they really pride themselves on. It's almost like they make a record and they say, okay, that was a good, like, deep, conscious record. Go deeper, and they got to do it all over again and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's just fun. It's really fun, but it also just kind of like, it makes you feel stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you feel.
I think it's really good, solid, conscious hip hop, but like a progression of conscious hip hop that we were seeing in the 90s. Like, it takes away all the fun from some of the conscious hip hop, like, someone like the early Tribe and stuff like that. But this is just straight up kind of just very, very serious. And like you said, emo. That's what this is. I think it's a great record. I wouldn't get on vinyl, but I would definitely listen to it again. It's a good record. But there's so much hip hop. There's so much hip hop I've listened to this week, especially this week. A lot of
hip hop.
Especially, I think I listened more this week than I did the two prior weeks.
Do you think you listen to more hip hop, honestly, in the past 2 weeks than you have like the past 2 years?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. It's been so much.
If you give like a percentage on what was like new out of all the hip hop you listen to, is it like 50% new, 50% stuff you've heard?
I'd say like probably 80-20, 70-30. Stuff I haven't heard compared to stuff 70 I haven't. Let's just say 70 I haven't heard, 30 I have heard.
How exciting!
Yeah, probably 70-30. But once again, I mean, a lot of it I would never go back to. Yeah, but I feel comfortable enough listening to it and having an opinion on it. So, what do you got for number 3?
Number 3, Man in the Moon, Kid Cudi's debut record.
Threw this on vinyl. So good.
This is alternative hip hop to the absolute max. I don't think you can get more alternative hip hop than this record. Like, I'd fight for this record to be like the best because of what it did for the genre, what it did for like the aesthetic of hip hop. Took the emo aspect that had been kind of percolating in hip hop for some time now and essentially Dashboard Confessional it up, right? It's wild. We did this on the pod, so you can check that out. But this is a record that's not talked about nearly enough in like the best of hip hop lists, and I think that's a complete oversight. In the same way that the album of the week is a complete oversight too. So number 2, 808s and Heartbreaks. This is my personal favorite Kanye record. Okay, like to get it, Graduation. That was a stepping stone. That was old Kanye meeting new Kanye and putting out a fucking perfect record. But 808s is just my personal favorite. I do think this is his best output. It's just the most different for not just Kanye but also hip hop. This is like this is wild for a hip hop record, dude. This is crazy. Like nobody did this.
No, it was 808s is something so unique. And it took me a long time to get into. I used to hate this record. It was always bottom tier Kanye for me until we did Kanye last year when we did Graduation. And 808s, it bumped up from like the bottom to number 3 for me. Like 808s is possible. No, 808s might be. It's either 3 or 2 now because Graduation is. It's actually.
Graduation's good.
Graduation is my favorite. Yeezus is my second favorite. And I throw 808s at 3. I throw 808s at 3. Yeah. And then College Dropout at 4. That's what I would do. You never listen to Yeezus, but that's okay.
All right. Yeah. I don't even know what that noise is. East Coast. Remember East Coast?
Yeah.
Well, East Coast girls are fine. That's Beach Boys. Mr. Liff, I Phantom.
Suck. What? I'm just kidding. They don't suck. What was your number 1?
No, I'm going my number 5.
Wait, what'd you say?
My number 1 for Midwest was Eminem.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But did you say?
I don't think.
No, I don't think I did say that. No.
You just jump to the East Coast. So yeah. So what's your number 5 for East Coast?
Yeah, well, also your Beach Boy thing fucking threw me for a loop. I listened to Beach Boys again today. God damn, it's so good.
The CD?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Mr. Liff, I Phantom. It's produced by LP, so you get something. Obviously, it's going to be great production wise, but this is conscious hip hop to the max. Like keeping the flame lit with the most. Like, to be fair, it's a lot of like low hanging fruit, right? Rapping about like government, police, laws, stuff like that. Like that's a dime a dozen. But this guy also raps about like food shortages, how it impacts our life. He raps about like religion. He raps about like the effect that media has on like the youth. Like that's wild, dude. That's some next level conscious shit right there. Like this guy's amazing. I love this dude.
Yeah, this is solid conscious hip hop for me too. Big electronic beats. LP. I mean, he's such a strong producer, underrated producer too, honestly. Truly an underrated producer. So yeah, I thought this was a really sick record. I wouldn't get it on vinyl, but yeah, it's really good. What was the one that the record from last week that I really liked? Something Connection, the one with LP. He produced and he rapped on it from the 90s. What was that record?
He was rapping on it?
He rapped on it and he produced the record. It's the group. Not a group, but it's like a duo. Oh my God, what is the name? What is that fucking group from the East Coast?
Because this was on your Cannibal Ox, but he doesn't.
No, it was on your list last week, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's probably something.
No, it wasn't on. It was on the extracurricular. Sorry. Oh, Company Flow.
Oh yeah, Company Flow.
That I want to get on vinyl, but it's expensive, like $100.
That's good.
For a copy of that shit. You're stupid. Company Flow. That record is
LP's first solo record is better than Company Flow.
I don't think I've ever heard his first solo record.
Yeah, dude, you would love his first solo record.
I like LP a lot, man. I like him a lot.
You do like LP a lot. That's okay.
You say like it's a bad thing. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not. I know it's not. You also say like you think he's an underrated producer, but he's not, dude. Anybody that like listens to hip hop, that enjoys hip hop, that loves hip hop, he's up there in like the top 5, top 10
no,
for
he's not
sure.
No, he's not. Maybe 10. Maybe
for hip hop producers.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always in top 10. So. Always in top 10.
I don't think he's top 10. Yeah. No, I don't think he's.
Dude,
I think he deserves to be in the top 10.
He always is.
I don't think he is though.
Anybody I've ever talked to in my life, when it comes to like, who's your favorite hip hop producers? Give me 10. LP will for sure.
How many people have you asked that question to?
It happens all the time, especially like this. But this past 2 weeks that we listened to nothing but hip hop. Like, do you know how many conversations I've had about hip hop in the store? Get the fuck out of here.
But you're not asking them. Give me your top 10 producers in hip hop. There's no way you're asking people that.
Well, I don't sound like that, but I say, who are your favorites? Like, who was like we're doing 90s this week? Who are your favorite artists? Like, oh, I like this. Okay, what about producers? Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Fuck idiot. All right. So what do you got for number 4 on East Coast?
Aesop Rock, Labor Days.
It's cool.
What do you think about this one?
Very Jedi mind tricks. Very kind of it has esoteric kind of weird beats, but yeah, very, very Jedi mind tricks. Way different than I was expecting. Way different.
This guy's a lyrical mastermind. There's graphs that you can kind of like. There's graphs and charts. This is
the album Labor Days, by the way.
That's what I said.
I think you just said Aesop Rock. I don't think
Pretty sure I said Labor Days. Well, I'm like 90%
you also thought you said Marshall Mathers for number 1, but you didn't say that. So continue.
Okay. Well, I don't like where this is going. There are charts and graphs that show like which artists use the most unique words, and they tally them up in like a numerical sense. And Aesop Rock is by far the most unique lyricist. Like above anybody you think is great, he's better. He is the best. That just means he uses the most unique words, right? And it's like their first X amount of albums, they do it, and it's like 7,000 unique words, which is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah,
he's up there above like RZA. He's up there above Jizza. He's up there above anybody else. He's up there above MF Doom. He's up there above anybody else that you think is like, oh, that person's great. They have a lot of tools. He's better. And so just to think like you can have that much to say and like that big of a variety, it's really hard to digest. And so this guy is really the thinking man's hip hop artist. Like you got to listen to him several times, read the lyrics to finally get in and realize, oh, I get it now. So if you liked it, if you didn't like it, then don't worry about it. But if you liked it and kind of want a little bit more, I would keep going with it and then read the lyrics. Like go on Genius or whatever and follow along because this guy just gets better every time you listen to him.
Okay, I'm down.
There's a lot of words.
All right. I'll give it another shot. I did really enjoy it though. But your number 3, I was kind of blown
all right.
away
Number
by
3,
this one.
Talib Kweli.
Dude, this album
record
was
quality.
so good.
His first record.
So good.
I mean, like,
fantastic.
Dude, it was gonna be good. Like everybody thought, like, oh, how can Talib Kweli like top like what do you do with Black Star, and how can it be better? Like, bro, he had Jay Dilla, Kanye, Mos Def, Black Thought. Dude, this
think
record
honestly,
is just rife with biggest.
I think this record's better than Black Star. Black Star's great.
It's not better than Black Star.
Black Star's fucking amazing, but I think this might be better than that.
Okay.
I was blown away by this one. Fantastic.
He's like Mos Def blew up. But he also kind of took the route of like movie star, like starring in movies and playing like an actor. There's the word I was looking for.
That was
he went like
word.
the actor route. And that was a tough word. He went the actor route, and so he blew up because he's just getting a whole different demographic of people listening to his music, and that's not something Talib Kweli did. So there was a lot of like, again, people didn't think this was going to match the intensity of Black Star, and it did. And it's not because all of his guest stars, which like unlike Jay-Z, where when Jay-Z has guest stars, they're the front, like they are taking the cake from that song while Jay-Z is just providing supplementals.
Mm-hmm.
Talib Kweli never provides supplementals. He's always in the front. Everybody else plays secondary to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes his record so goddamn good.
It's great, man. I really, really, really dug it. I loved his flow. Like his flow and everything that's what made it, honestly. It's fantastic.
Good.
I thought it was great.
Good.
So,
all right.
Number 2.
Cannibal Ox, Cold Vein. This is the first release on LP's label, and it's a classic. Very 90s inspired
LP
production.
Produce this one?
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Very 90s inspired production, very 90s inspired like Illmatic type storytelling and world building. The lyrical storytelling with just even more like vivid imagery. Like just takes Illmatic and just kind of turns it up a little bit higher. It's very gritty and dark, just like Nas did, but you have LP producing now. And so it's just like, this is now the new generation of production. This is what we want to hear in the 2000s. And this is a perfect example of that, of just updating a classic, right? Updating Illmatic, updating it for the current times.
It's great.
Good.
Yeah. Definitely more of electronic kind of production, but I guess that makes sense with LP. So more electronic. There's a lot of jazz and soul in here too, but doesn't overpower anything else. So I thought it was a good record. Solid stuff. I wouldn't put this in my top 5, but yeah. Because you know what I put in my top 5.
I do. We talked about it. It was stupid. Well, one of them was stupid. 2 of them were just out of order. One of them was 5 Boroughs is just dumb. That's just stupid.
Okay.
That was just silly.
It's not. All right. So
we can be silly. It's a podcast.
What's your favorite East Coast hip hop record?
50 Cent, baby, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I don't get it. I thought this record sucked.
Oh my God, dude. This record's so good.
I mean, outside of the singles, because I know them.
In the club.
I didn't like this record. I was so disappointed by this. So disappointed.
Yeah, I consistently talk highly of this record. I love this record. I think it's great. It's gangster rap in an era that became far removed from it, but it's also endearing because it's fun. It's just fun. This is like the energy that Pac inserted into his gangster rap, that Biggie inserted into his gangster rap. The club anthems on this, dude, the guest rappers, the production, everything is iconic. This thing took the world by storm. Where like some hip hop like ventured off and found new listeners, this did so as well, because every club in America played these songs on repeat constantly. And it's just, you couldn't go to Sutra in fucking Costa Mesa that plays like electronic music without hearing Fitty. That was the only club I could think of.
I know we were definitely not the club type.
Yeah, that's true. While Fitty isn't the best rapper, like he's not a very good rapper. He's like like Dre, like
yeah.
But my God, dude, he's endearing, and he brings life into these songs. And like, dude, everybody was doing the G-Unit thing. Remember in high school?
Well, you were doing that.
I think me and like Daniel Hill and probably like 2 others were probably the only ones doing the G-Unit thing in high school.
And Daniel Hill was like one of the 5 black guys at our high school too.
Yeah.
We had out of 3,000 kids, I think there was like maybe 5 or 10 black kids at our school. It was predominantly white.
Our senior picture's wild. Yeah, I love this record so much. This is vinyl worthy for sure.
Really? I can't
for
believe
sure.
you like it so much. I don't get it, man. I really, really, I wanted to like this one. I really, really
God,
did.
he's just, for like lack of a better word, he made gangster rap sexy again. Pac made it sexy. Like no one made gangster rap sexy like Pac did. And after a while, it just kind of like fell off. And like Easy, he was an ugly ass. Those Jerry girls were ugly. Ice Cube's an ugly dude.
Yeah.
Like 50 Cent just make it sexy again. It made it sexy to be a gangster. Straight up.
And so on that Hip Hop Evolution documentary, I didn't know like how like he pretty much started with like the whole mixtape scene. I didn't realize how big that mixtape scene was in New York. Really all over, but New York especially. And just that's how he was putting out mixtapes like every month for a long time. Like he put out this Get Rich or Die Trying, and then less than a month later, he put out a mixtape to go along with it, just because he had so much material, so much music, and he was he hustled. Like when it comes to hustling, I respect his hustle a lot because he was doing it for like the art and the culture and the scene and all that shit. But then like Jay-Z, fucking a great hustler, but he was literally only doing it for money. Like that's it. So it's I have a lot more respect for 50 Cent after this week, but I can't get into the record. And then I was reading more, like I was kind of like skimming through his Wikipedia and everything. Dude, the guy went bankrupt like in 2009 or 2010 or something like that. Just terrible investments, spending all of his money. Like he lost like $100 million,
right?
He lost like he's lost like over $100 million in bad investments and just blown. Like he's lost everything. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy how much money he's lost.
Yeah.
Like Mike Tyson level. It's wild.
It's sad, and these are hood kids. These are hood kids, and you give them a bunch of money, and I mean, like, who do they trust, right? They only trust like their closest friends. People, he got shot like 45 times, not 45 times. He got shot a bunch of times and survived. Yeah. It was like, dude, 9 times. He got shot 9 times. Yeah. That's crazy. You don't die. Fuck. I don't know. I love this record a lot. Production's great too. Like, come on, at least you like the production.
Yeah, the production was great. It's his voice, his flow. I don't like it. I don't get it. It's just not for me.
Very, very, very lackadaisical. It's very southern. It's a very southern approach to like a New York gangster hip hop scene.
Which is weird because of his association with Dr. Dre. Until this week, I thought he was a West Coast rapper. I really thought he was West Coast until this week, which is just I'm completely ignorant to the whole hip hop thing, but.
I can see that. That makes sense though. Because of the Dr. Dre thing. I can see that.
Well, him and Eminem, even though Eminem's Midwest, but you know what I mean.
But the Midwest scene was like non-existent. East Coast was staunch, already cemented as like East Coast did not like West Coast.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into your West Coast top 5.
These are my favorites. These are my favorites. These are my favorite style. These are all pretty.
Some of these are pretty cool, man. These are all pretty cool.
A little goofy, yeah. But yeah, I like goofy hip hop. Like that's my favorite type of hip hop is goofy hip hop. So anyway, Black Alicious, Blazing Arrow. This is their second record.
Wait, you moved this one.
Yeah.
It went from 2 to 5?
Then it was an old one then.
Oh, okay. Anyway, okay, yeah, Black Alicious, Blazing Arrow.
Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay, so here's what I did. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's opposite.
Opposite day.
Here's what I did. When I was changing them, I changed it on our shared doc and not my doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay. So this should be my number 2. No. Yeah. This should be my number 2. I'll do that. I'll go with my number 5. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Number 5 should be, because now I'm looking at the other one. Jurassic 5 Quality Control. This is my number 5. These guys dropped a little bit here. Yeah. Dude, they're so smooth. This sound is very LA gangster rap vibes, but it's just upbeat. It's more fun. Like there's just so many gangster wannabes in this era of hip hop. So it's always nice to hear something like this. And I like Jurassic 5. I like everything that they do. I think they're amazing. I like Cali Tuna. I like his vocal style in this. And it's cool. It's good. It's good like LA vibes, man.
Yeah. It's very cool. Nothing stood out to me too much. I have no history with this band, with this group, outside of hearing them a few times with you and when I worked at Tower Records. But yeah, I thought it was just good, just solid hip hop. But I wonder if
there's also like regional bias too for I don't think so because
no, I don't think so. Not with us or not with you. I don't think
so either because I really like. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Deltron 3030
number 4.
This is my number 4. Yeah,
this is an incredible record. It's so good. It's so
It's
good.
essentially a rap opera that follows like quite the sci-fi story, and it's one that you got to read beforehand, and as you're doing it, then once you know the words and you can kind of pick up on it and understand what's going on. But the storytelling from Dell is amazing. Like, dude, it has such an iconic voice, and everybody knows what his voice sounds like.
Mhm.
But the soundscapes from Dan and Koala, did they add so much to the aesthetic? It's a great record that everybody knows what their job was, and they all executed perfectly.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. And honestly, I totally forgot that he was the one who sang on the Gorilla song on Clint Eastwood. Totally forgot. So when he started rapping, I was kind of not blown away. I was just so taken aback. And yeah, so it just, and listening to an entire record with just him was just so weird because I've only ever really heard him on the Clint Eastwood song. So it was good. Yeah, this Deltron 3030 record is fantastic. Just a lot of like electronic, like soundscapes. That was the best. That you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the soundscapes, the electronics, the synths, like everything was just so. It's a very big sounding record in a way.
It goes deep because it tells us this bizarre sci-fi fantasy tale. And so when they're doing a lot of these electronic, weird, kind of quirky beats that are very like ethereal, and then Dell comes in with his very matter-of-fact rapping style, because everything he says, he enunciates so perfectly that he never slurs words. Nothing ever blends together. It's very matter-of-fact. Like you could put a period after every single thing that he says, every word, because that's the type of like vocalist that he is. And so when you have like those weird kind of like spacey sounds with like this almost like narrator going through it, it provides like a cool storytelling experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, I have that on the vinyls. I have my top 4 on the vinyls.
Nice.
People Under the Stairs, OST. This is their third record. This is the one that kind of like put them on, I'm not saying put them on the map because everybody in the underground scene knew who they were. This is just a very different record for them. But this is rich and deep in like music history. These guys amassed like an insane vinyl collection while touring the world from their first couple records. Like they were just buying records from like Germany and Sweden and any place that they went to. They just bought shit, and you know, because they're DJs, so they want to use those as samples. But they took pride in like learning about the source material rather than just like sampling it, like thus bringing the digging aspect a new perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just using a James Brown sample, because I don't know a lot of funk souls, I can't pick out like an obscure reference. So James Brown was the most obscure I could get. Instead of picking out something like that, they picked out, you know, something more obscure and then like learned about this artist and like talked about this artist in liner notes. And then in it shows like, oh, the sample we used from this guy from 1967 who released one record. They're just vinyl heads. They're music heads, and they loved it.
That's cool though. I love that. I love that dedication and just that passion, the dedication and passion. Something you don't see with your Jay-Z's or anything like that.
Nah.
Once again, Jay-Z's not a producer either. He's strictly just an MC.
But
he's a
butt.
So yeah, this People Under the Stairs record, I thought it was fine. It didn't hit me the same way as most of the other ones on the West Coast. Your top 5 West Coast did. It was good, but coming off of, because I listened to a couple of the other records prior to this, and they were just so much better than People Under the Stairs, and it was fine. It was good, just good. Okay. But also I've noticed too, this week, all of these hip hop records are fucking long, like an hour 20 per record.
A lot of words, a lot of
it's
interludes,
not even like skits,
instrumentals.
Yeah, it's not even like filled with skits. It's just like beats and music, which is cool. But when I'm trying to power through these and they're an hour 20, you gotta skip some songs.
You don't power through them.
Yeah, I had to. I listened to a lot of fucking hip hop. Had to.
All right. Number 2, Black Alicious, Blazing Arrow, their second record. I think this is slightly better than their first one for me. I love these guys. Gift of Gab, super underappreciated rapper. And nobody really talked about him that often until he died a couple years ago. And then it was like, oh, like, yeah, Black Alicious, Gift of Gab. Yeah. But I think he's incredibly poetic with his rhyming styles, like how he says things. Mm-hmm. I think it's really, really fun. And a lot of rappers kind of don't get into that. I don't know, that more poetic approach. It's very one-dimensional, and that's what like makes a good rapper and separates him from like a great rapper. Also, like this record is wild, dude. They got Zach on here from Rage to sing a song, and it's just, dude, it's so good. This is Sacktown at its best. At its best.
it's a good record. It's really, really good. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Fuck that city too.
I've only driven through that city, but yeah.
That's all you fucking need to do.
But yeah, no, this is a great record. I really, really enjoyed this one. It's like it's poppier, conscious hip hop. Like it's a little bit more fun. Doesn't I feel like it doesn't take itself as seriously. I like a lot of the soul elements on this one. There's not really any R&B, but mostly soul. But they do it in like a really good way to where it doesn't. I don't zone out. If that makes sense. So it was good. I really enjoyed the Black Delicious.
Cool. And my favorite West Coast, and also probably my favorite record on this, like just from a purely subjective standpoint, which is very close to the album of the week. Like those two are just neck and neck. But Ugly Duckling, Meat Shake, I love this group so much.
This was a great record.
Like I know I like you like this record because it's very, these guys are traditionalists, much like but
they're so much fun
because they I mean this is not a knock at all because I think they update it in much the same ways like Cannibal Wax updated Illmatic, but these guys are they're rapping in the traditional style of Golden Age of hip hop. They are doing that sound, they are doing that kind of production. They're just updating it to make it a little bit more contemporary. And if you like this, you should listen to their first one. Their first one I like less than this one, but their first one is more, I think, in the style that you want more of.
Really? I mean, I thought
that made sense.
I mean, you know that I like 80s hip hop a lot, but after this week, I don't know. There's a lot of 90s shit that I was really into. But I mean, this Ugly Duckling record was solid. I was really, really surprised by this. Vinyl worthy.
I got no G this baby.
That's something, dude. How did you find out about
our
this
store? It's funny because a long time ago when I worked at Dave & Buster's in Orange, friend of the pod David, we've always gone back and forth on like music because we have very similar musical tastes, and then also it transcends in from like punk to hip hop. But this is one of his favorite groups was Ugly Duckling. I think he turned me on to this like a long time ago. And their first record, Journey to Something, I don't remember what it's called, but there's a song called Friday Night. That's just a fucking banger of a song. And it's very, very like 80s hip hop, but just done in like a late 90s, 2000s way. So good. But that was like my introduction. I think it was friend of the pod David.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that's all my subjectives. You want to get through some of these little extra cricks real quick?
Yeah, we'll get through some of these. We'll just
we're
not gonna. I mean, I actually didn't listen to a ton of the extra cricks because just most of these other ones, like from your picks, I had never heard. So I took like a deeper dive into them. So we'll run through them and I'll just let you know what I listened to.
Okay.
So begin.
I don't know if mine are in the same order, but Dead Prez, you listen to Dead Prez?
I didn't listen to Dead Prez, no.
Okay. So Dead Prez, I think you probably would have liked them. Just incredibly politically charged conscious hip hop. The theme song for the Hip Hop Evolution uses it. The hip hop. That's Dead Prez.
Okay.
Pigeon John, you listen to Pigeon John?
I did not listen to Pigeon John.
Pigeon John's very like Ugly Duckling kind of, very like goofy, kind of like that. I think you like Pigeon John too.
Okay.
I'll just skip Swayze.
Yeah, I did listen to it though. I did listen to. I listened to Let It Beat just because I'm like, it was so popular when we were like in our early 20s.
And Justin and me love this record.
And I know we've done it on the podcast on a forgotten episode. I'm like, maybe I'll like it more now. But I got halfway through. I'm like, this is just stupid. I don't know. Let It Beat. I don't. It's not for me.
That's okay.
So.
Down at the motel. Mad Villainy.
Of course I listen. I got this one on vinyl, so of course I listened to it. Fantastic record.
Yeah. I mean, this is just pure art. This is just redefining again what underground hip hop even means.
And then I forgot too how short these songs are. They're like all 2 minutes long. There's 22 tracks, but they're all like 2 minutes long. So it's mostly just like
power through them, baby.
Well, it's not just that. It's a record too where it just seemed like it was like a first thought, best thought kind of thing. Or it's just kind of like, I'm going to throw, Madlib's going to, he's like, I'm going to throw down a beat, just rap over it, MF Doom. And that's just what you get. It's just like, it just seems very kind of seamless.
Natural. Just off the cuff.
Natural. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking record. Do you sell this on vinyl?
It's really, no. Just because like we see this a lot.
Always available. Yeah.
Yeah. Quasimodo. You listen to Quasimodo?
I didn't listen to Quasimodo.
Quasimodo's cool. It's his Madlib. He's just doing his own raps, but he records his voice kind of a little bit slower because he hated his rapping voice. So he recorded his voice a little bit slower and like double the speed. So his alter ego Quasimodo, or it's like the Quas or some shit. His alter ego is rapping high, so he's just rapping against himself. Cool.
Okay.
If you like Mad Lib, just check this out.
All right.
Lupe Fiasco.
I didn't because I kind of felt like I wouldn't like it, so I didn't listen to it. I didn't.
Dude, this record's a solid record.
But I know I've heard his music before. But
yeah,
I
this
can't
came out
place
like
it.
right in the post high school party era for us. So a lot of these songs, like very well. But it's a well produced record, and it's really, really fun.
All right.
What about T.I.? Trap music.
I got halfway through this, and I'm like, I can't. I hate trap music.
I like this record, man. I do like this record.
I hate the beat. I hate those beats so much. And watching that Hip Hop Evolution documentary, they get into trap music, and I mean, I think the story behind it, and I think T.I.'s story is very interesting. Like I really enjoyed that segment of the episode, but the music itself, the beats just sound too fake to where my brain can't like connect to it properly, if that makes any sense, because it's so unnatural that I can't find like the human quality in it, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that even is what it is, but I've never liked those trap beats. Never liked
trap music stuff.
It's really tough. I can't get into it. But T.I.'s story was, I liked T.I.'s, I didn't like it, but I thought it was fascinating. His story.
T.I. is a wild character, man. Like how that guy got like a Disney role is fucking beyond me.
No sense. No.
Like that's crazy.
But then it's like, and then I remember hearing like Killer Mike talking about T.I. Killer Mike was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about T.I. and how like close friends they are, and like how sweet and nice of a guy he is, and how T.I. is constantly giving back to the community, donating money, creating these like after school programs for kids. Like the guy just seems like such a legitimate, cool, good person, like straight up a good person. And he grew up in like complete poverty. He started slinging drugs at like 13, started like doing crack at 14 or some shit like that. Like the guy was so fucked up. Like his whole childhood was so fucked up. I think he said like the first time he saw somebody die, he was 4 years old. He saw like, it's fucking crazy, man. But
so wild.
But I think it's so respectable how he gives so much back to the community. That's super cool. So mad respect for him, but I think the music sucks.
That's fair. Trap music's tough. Music's tough. Jay-Z, The Blueprint, of course, obviously.
Yeah, I had to listen to this.
You listen to Black Rock?
I did not listen to Black Rock. No.
That's okay. It's this is Dan from the Black Keys. He like produced this hip hop record and it just features like a ton of people. But it's very Black Keys like. It's very like it's hip hop, but it's just like mid hip hop.
I was gonna say, like,
you know what I mean? Like
Black Keys are pretty fucking
it's
mid.
fine, but they're so mid.
Yeah.
But that's what this is. It's interesting.
Okay.
Twista.
I did listen to Comic Con. So these next four I put on the list. You said something really rude in our notes about them, but yeah. So I picked these four because I wanted you to listen to them too with me. But I don't know if did you listen to any of these four?
I listened to everything.
Okay, I listened to them too. So Twista, Kamikaze, this record's sick. It's just Twista. He's fast. He just raps so fucking fast.
It's fun because of Twista.
Yeah,
because it's just so over the like, dude. What are you fucking?
It is
doing?
very over
like,
the top.
Chill.
Doesn't he hold? I think he holds the world record for the fastest hip hop, like fastest rapper,
I think
or something
so,
like
yeah.
that. But I
don't know what the fuck he's even saying. He's just like, I know. I don't want to fucking do it because it sounds disrespectful.
But also, Twist is like the kind of music where like you hear it's like watching like a YouTube musician who's really fucking good at what they do, but it's like after 5-10 minutes you're like, okay, I'm good. Like I don't need to watch you anymore.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't be able to like I listened to this entire record because of the podcast, but I'm never gonna go back to a Twista record and go back and listen to an entire thing. It's just
correct.
I respect him. I think he's fucking fantastic, but you can only have so much of just this kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
So Pitbull, move to Pitbull. Pitbull starring in Revolution, his 2009 record. I fucking loved this record. This is the first time I ever heard the whole record. Heard the singles, of course, on this one. This record was so good. Like I was so pumped. I was so excited. You don't agree?
It's a good record. It's a
so
good record. It's
like,
a good record.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't know if I would ever like get this in the vinyls because it's just like what the dude.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking
I
about
don't
getting
know.
on vinyls.
Like when do I need this kind of like energy? Like when I'm at home listening to records, like why would I need this kind of energy? And that's just it. Like this,
But it's like
this music is just it sounds weird for me to be sitting on my ass listening to this music.
But you know, you would get an LMFAO record. It's much the same thing.
That's true. That is true.
But damn, dude. I mean, Pitbull's not a bad rapper either. Mr. Worldwide,
No.
he's not a bad rapper.
I mean, like there's a lot of people out like Chuck Mangione. Like you know the direction of the music that you want it to go in, and you just stay in your lane and you do it the best you possibly can without deviating from the path too much. That's Pitbull. That's Chuck Mangione. That's why they sell millions and millions and billions of copies.
Yeah.
And it's not lazy. It's actually kind of brilliant.
It is. Yeah.
If you're going to do something, be the best at it. And he's the fucking best at it.
I mean, it's just the way he mixes the pop with some of the reggaeton at times, which I hate reggaeton, but the way he just mixes the pop and hip hop is just, I think it's fantastic. And it's just straight up fun. It's the best way to describe it. It's fun music. It's straight up fucking fun. I loved it. I had so much fun with it. And Tammy was mad. She was hearing it while I was listening. She came in. She's like, why are you listening to this shit? I'm like, you can't deny me. This is not good. And then we went out to dinner that night and we were talking about Pitbull again. She's like, yeah, it was actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
It's so good.
It's fucking fantastic.
Just like the hotel song, right? The hotel room song.
Oh,
You can bring your girlfriend.
And then there's a song with Little John on it too. It's fucking insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Dude, B.O.B.'s on this thing too.
Yeah.
This is the first I've ever listened to this whole record too. I don't think I've ever listened to more than like 7 Pitbull songs.
Yeah, same here. God,
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
He has a lot of people on this record.
Dude, I actually really want to do this on the podcast at some point. I think it would be so much fun to break down this record and Mr. Worldwide in general. I like that he gave himself that name too. I think he gave himself that name, but
and again, dude, match the aesthetic, right? Like if you're gonna get a nickname, don't make it regional, make it worldwide.
Make it worldwide.
But like, don't make it too obscure and out there. People can't remember it. Like you just Mr. Like the only thing dumber than Mr. Worldwide is like Mr. World. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing more stupid than his actual nickname. It's just if you said Mr. World. Perfect.
Yeah, Pitbull, underrated
marketing master,
underrated in hip hop. Let's just say that. So NERD, In Search Of, I think this was a 2002, I believe it was. I think this is their third record. I mean, we talked about the Neptunes and Pharrell and forgot the other guy's name, but
nobody ever remembers his name.
I forgot his name. But anyway, yeah, this is. I think NERD put out maybe 6 records. I think the last one came out in 2012,
something like that.
But I mean, once again, we talked about the beats are fantastic. Just Pharrell, I like him. He's smooth. Pharrell's smooth as a rapper.
It's a fun record. I think it's just like the reason why I wouldn't buy it on the vinyls is because it's too much like funk and soul and stuff and R&B. I don't get the references. I didn't grow up listening to the music. I don't really like the music. And so when there's a big hook that comes in and there's this big drop, like I know it's a song that I probably should know if I listen to the music, but because I don't, that intensity is lost on me.
Okay, I get that.
But it's still good. Like anything that Pharrell touches is going to be fucking good.
That's true. Very true. It's very once again, like it's very, very unique. I didn't realize it until this week how unique the Neptunes were with their beats. But yeah, that's a great record. Good stuff. Jesus. Last thing here, Missy Elliott, Under Construction. It's fine. It's
Why did you put this on here?
Because I mean those songs on this record, the singles were massive. Yeah. They were so massive. Yeah. So I thought we'd maybe get more of that, but much like her first record, I think I listened to last week. It's mostly just R&B, a lot of singing, which isn't bad. It's just not my thing. Yeah. So I mean, I was a little disappointed because I wanted more of just like the crazier shit, which
is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just not my thing. And I get her significance and watching that documentary, that Super Producers episode was fantastic. It talked about Kanye.
I didn't get that far.
Oh, you didn't? So they talk about Kanye,
No.
they talk about Neptunes, they talk about Timbaland and Missy Elliott and like their relationship. And their relationship was super fucking cool. And like they even said like we're musical soulmates. Like we get into the studio and we work for like weeks straight, not like spending all of like 20 hours a day in the studio. And it was a great episode. Great episode.
I mean, production wise, this record's amazing. Timbaland
Yeah.
slays at pretty much anything he fucking does.
Hip hop, like he's top 5 producers in hip hop, hands down. I don't like everything he puts out, but you can't deny the guy has a sound and it is fucking amazing.
For sure.
So
For sure.
brah. For sure.
Brah.
All right, so let's get in. Let's wrap it up. Let's get into the what we think are the best records objectively of the 2000s era. So,
okay,
we going back and forth on this one.
Whatever you want to do on this one.
Let's do back and forth.
Let's do.
I think we should do back and forth.
I'll start with me. Oh no, okay, yeah, yeah.
Back and
I'll
forth.
start with me though.
Yeah, start
with me.
That's the pecking order. Yeah.
Yeah, but so objectively, again, I mentioned it earlier. Just there's no need for just like subtle digs like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do that all the time. Yes, I do. So I made a remark earlier that I will fight for this one because I do think this should be on the objective list for best hip hop records of the 2000s, and that's Kid Cudi's "Man on the Moon." That's my number 5. I think that it deserves to be here. I think that it just did something so vastly different. Didn't just like further the genre in any specific direction. It just fucking flipped everything upside down and just showed everyone like, dude, this is hip hop, man. This is like jazz music. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And that is wild.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got good flow, man. He's a good rapper.
I think he's okay. I think
he's a good rapper because he tries to do a lot of things and he's not really good at any of them. But like much like his name suggests, like Kid Cudi, he does it much like a kid would do. Much like I'm trying to mimic my idols, and here's how I'm going to do it with amazing production. That's Kid Cudi.
All right,
number 5.
My number 5 is Outkast Stankonia. I mean, I think this is their best record. Stankonia is their best record. Yeah, I know. I said it. I don't give a fuck. Like you said, it has their best song, right? So Fresh and So Clean.
That's true. So fresh and so clean.
Yeah, I think this is just a wildly influential record. Some might argue that what was it, Speaker Box, and what was the double album that they did?
Who cares? Nobody would ever argue that.
I think some people would argue that would be the better of the 2 records of the decade. But Stankonia
argues that. Just fucking unsubscribe to this.
Yeah, Stankonia, my number 5. What do you got for number 4?
I don't want to say things. Number 4. Oh, hold on there, dude.
Cool.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
All right.
Objectively, I think this deserves to be in the top 5. I think this did something for the genre. It reignited something, and it bridged the gap between pop and like NWA, pop and like the gangster rap era. Like these guys could never have been 50. Like Tupac was the only person that could have been as big as 50 Cent. But like Biggie could never have been this. Biggie wasn't sexy. Nobody could have been as big as 50 Cent was. 50 Cent was fucking huge.
He was massive. Whoa.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, you open up a champagne bottle or something, or what?
No, dude, it was a fucking bottle. It was a Corona. God
damn.
Frighten the dog.
Well, who's up there? What dog's up there?
Phoenix.
Oh,
I didn't know she was here until she popped her head up right now.
Phoenix is such a lady.
She's something. She's something.
All right, so Get Rich or Die Trying. Objectively, you think number 4? All right.
Yes.
So my number 4, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Jay-Z. For sure, Jay-Z, but it's either going to be Blueprint 1, or it's going to be the Black Album. I mean,
okay, so it's not the Black Album. Good.
What?
The Black Album is just a worse Blueprint, dude. The Black Album is
okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, but still, Black Album is still really, really popular, and it was still very, what am I trying to say? Influential. But I agree. Blueprint was also massive, and I think as much as we've talked shit on Jay-Z. And we think he's kind of questionable as a questionable in hip hop.
He's a shill. He's a self-imposed shill.
Yeah, he is. But you can't
corporate shill.
You can't deny his influence on hip hop as musically, as a rapper, as a company, as a figure. I mean, the guy's fucking so influential.
I mean, he truly is Mr. Worldwide when it comes to hip hop.
He is, yeah. with the whole Rockefeller
The
brand.
dude built a
and all that shit.
brand on top of a brand on top of a brand.
Yeah.
And just like showed everybody in hip hop that, hey, dude, you can also do this. You can also make your own brand.
Yeah.
It's easy. Check it out.
No, you're right.
I get
You're
it.
right. That's what he did. So
I like it.
that's
Like
why
it.
it's Blueprint. Let's just say Blueprint is objectively number 4. So what do you got for number 3?
Okay. Number 3, Stankonia. Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't think this is hit or Outkast's best record, but
Of the 2000s.
this is a pop record. This is for sure. This is their best record of the 2000s. Between this and Speaker Box, like, come on, that record's
and Idlewild.
But
yeah,
this is a fucking pop record. Like, it's insane, like how poppy this record is. But it never loses its hip hop edge. It never loses its southern edge. It's well respected.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pop record, and that is just crazy. That is crazy that you can make a pop record this explosive, this amazing, this catchy, right? Like it's crazy.
It is. It is. All right, so
it's on no level. Like dude, Outkast's run of like 3 or 4 records is just it's unreal. It may be like the best in all of hip hop.
wait,
From
ATL
Southern Play all the way to Stankonia.
But I mean, but you also can't deny Speaker Box and was it Love Below? You can't deny how massive that record was. You know what I mean? It's like as much as we talk shit on the Andre 3000 side or his record on that one because that one sucks. But Big Boy's record, I think he does Speaker Box, right?
Mm.
I don't remember which one he does.
He does the last one, so maybe the Love Below.
Is it Love? I don't know. Yeah, whatever one he does.
First one? I remember
the Big Boy album part of that is fantastic. Andre 3000 mediocre best, and we all know we've talked about it plenty of times before. Andre is nothing compared to Big Boy. Big Boy just blows him out of the water in every way.
Andre's just like wannabe fucking beatnik poet who thinks he's like psych rock and fucking all this other stuff, and it's just like, yeah,
he's fine. He's fine. He's not bad by any extent, but he's fine. So that's your number 3, Stankonia. My number 3 is 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't like this record. I don't, like I said, but I understand its importance in hip hop and on music, club music, everything. I mean, the guy was
crazy,
massive. It was unreal how massive this motherfucker was. I mean, what else can be said? He's one of the most significant figures of the 2000s in hip hop. You cannot deny it. So 50 Cent, number 3. What do you have for number 2?
All right. I think, number 2, Album of the Week, Marshall Mathers LP. That's my number 2.
Really? Okay. So I'm going to put Kanye Graduation as number 2 because I think this record was so significant for hip hop and the progression of hip hop, but I don't think it had the same impact overall in music, even in hip hop. It was so massive, but compared to Marshall Mathers is my number 1. I don't care. I mean, that was so important to hip hop, bridging the gap.
You got that right.
Bridging the gap, between white people and hip hop. That's what Marshall Mathers was. Anyway, Kanye's Graduation is my number 2. I think it's still very, very significant. But it's one of the greatest hip hop records ever made. Easily ever made.
Yeah. Graduation, my number 1. Or College Dropout, excuse me, not Graduation.
College Dropout is
my number 1.
Really?
Yeah, College Dropout. This changed the game. There would not be, obviously there wouldn't be a Graduation.
Of course.
But there wouldn't be like contemporary hip hop without the College Dropout. We have an entirely different sound in production, and no one's ever done this before. And Kanye had already kind of like done stuff with Jay-Z and done other songs prior to this one, so it wasn't like a huge departure. But hip hop has never heard anything like this before. This was so bizarre. This was so out there. This was so not just, I don't know, man. Like Kanye had no like gangster ego or persona. And,
that's one thing that made him so different was that he didn't have that kind of background. Like his parents weren't super poor. Like they were pretty successful, not super rich or anything like that, but he didn't come from like the projects really. He was fairly well educated. He didn't come from that gangster lifestyle. He came out of fucking nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but he fucking hustled too. Like after watching that documentary too, and watching his hustle and like how he just did not stop with Jay-Z. Like he went to, because he got signed with Rockefeller, and he did not fucking stop. Like he harassed Jay-Z so much trying to be like a rapper more than just a producer, because that was another thing too. Kanye was like one of the first ones to become like an equally respected rapper as well as producer. He did both things, and up to that point, that never really happened, at least like not on a massive level. So that's what also makes him. That's one thing that makes him so important to the scene, is that he did both. He does everything. Kanye is everything.
Kanye is he's one of the best rap producers of all time. He's also just one of the best producers of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
And you get guys like Dre who created a sound. And it was a very specific sound, and when you hear that sound, you know you're transported to that exact demographic and that location.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's cool. That's amazing what you did there. Like, that's crazy. Most people can't even fathom how difficult that is. What Kanye did with his samples and his beats and his just like world building with just music is on a different level.
I agree.
It's not transporting you to a specific area. It's not transporting you to anything. It's blowing your fucking mind on every single song.
Well, it's like
where like the beats and the samples are now the forefront, and you could take the vocals out of this entire record and you get something like that LP like really excels at, is you take like a lot of the stuff that LP does, you take the vocals out and you're like, wow, dude, you're a really, really good producer. Like Kanye just like, this is not a knock to LP, because like someone has to be better than other, right? Yeah. But like Kanye just did LP sound so much better.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Also with like Dre, no disrespect, because I think objectively he has the best sounding records of all time, but he's very much a one trick pony. He does one thing really, really like perfectly. Like, you cannot get better than Dre at that one kind of style, and it's a very stripped down style. There's not a lot of noise, not a lot going on, but there's enough there to hit you so fucking hard. And that's why when you hear Dre beat, you know it's fucking Dre. And I know we actually haven't talked about 2001 at all, but goddamn, I listened to 2001 again this week. That record is
1999.
Oh, is it 99?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Huh? Yeah, it is 1999. What am I thinking? But either way,
it's called 2000.
Either way, like 2001 doesn't get enough love. That record is
fucking
phenomenal.
That record is
phenomenal. Because I mean, The Chronic is. I mean, they're both perfect, honestly. The Chronic and 2001. But yeah,
2001's so good.
It's fucking you. I forget how many fucking hits were on that record too.
Yeah.
There's so many hits on that one. But yeah, I don't know. Kanye, I get it. Kanye, number one. So anyway, is that all we got for this one?
That's all we got for this one. That's it. We did it, kid.
We did. Hip hop season is just about over. So yeah, we're about to get into Marshall Mathers LP from Eminem. Thanks for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Tell your friends, share all the post. Watch it on YouTube. Smash the subscribe button, and that's it. That's all.